Devastating 8.8 magnitude quake off Russia's Pacific coast sparks tsunami alerts across the Pacific. The shock event. On July 30, 2025, just before dawn in Russia and shortly before midday in Tokyo, a catastrophic magnitude 8.8 earthquake struck off the eastern coast of Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula in the Kuril-Kamchatka Trench region. Centered approximately 120 kilometers, 75 miles, from the regional capital Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky at a depth of roughly 21 kilometers, it ranks among the strongest quakes ever recorded worldwide, and is the most powerful to hit the region since 1952. Seismic tremors lasted for at least 3 minutes, shaking entire towns, damaging buildings, and even continuing live surgery operations amid the chaos. Most injuries reported were minor and attributed to panic during evacuation. Immediate human response. In the operating room. In a dramatic example of composure under pressure, doctors in Kamchatka's regional hospital continued a cancer surgery despite intense tremors. Video footage shows the operating table shaking violently while medical staff held onto equipment and ensured the operation continued safely. The anesthetized patient remained stable as the team adjusted to the earthquake's intensity. The Sun. +1. New York Post. +1. Local damage and casualties. A kindergarten under renovation in Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky sustained structural damage. Several minor injuries occurred as people rushed out of buildings during the quake, including a hospital patient who jumped from a window, but no severe harm was reported. Residents of Severokurilsk on Peninsula Island were evacuated after multiple tsunami waves, measuring up to 5 meters, hit coastal areas, temporarily flooding the port and cutting power. Fortunately, major damage was avoided and no deaths were reported. Tsunami alerts and waves across the Pacific. Widespread warnings. Following the quake, tsunami alerts were immediately issued for Russia, Kamchatka and Kuril Islands, Japan, Eastern Pacific Coast, Hawaii, Alaska, California, Oregon, and Washington in the U.S. Additional alerts reached out to Central and South American coastal regions, including Chile, Ecuador, Panama, Colombia, and extended to New Zealand, Fiji, Samoa, Tonga, Micronesia, French Polynesia, and Guam. Japan. In Hokkaido and Iwate, waves of up to 60 centimeters were recorded, Hamanaka, Hokkaido, and Kuji, Iwate. Smaller surges of around 20 centimeters were measured in Tokyo Bay, appearing roughly 5 hours post-quake. Evacuations were ordered for over 2 million people along Japan's Pacific coast. Residents sought safety on rooftops, hilltop parks, and inland shelters, especially in towns haunted by memories of the 2011 disaster. In Fukushima, where nuclear disaster struck over a decade ago, about 4,000 workers sheltered at higher ground and continued remote monitoring without incident. No nuclear safety issues were confirmed. Despite the disruption, Japan's stringent seismic codes and earthquake-resilient infrastructure, such as flexible foundations and shock-absorbing materials, helped avoid structural failures. Insurance and retrofitting support, including a recent initiative using smart paint coatings, demonstrate the effectiveness of decades-long preparedness policies. Hawaii and U.S. West Coast. Hawaii reported waves ranging from 1.2 to 1.8 meters, 4 to 6 feet, across islands including Oahu, Maui, Kahului, and the Big Island, Hilo. Tsunami advisories were downgraded as the threat diminished, though officials emphasized ongoing risks from strong currents. A surprise act of community support emerged in Maui, where Oprah Winfrey opened her private road for evacuation traffic, enabling 50 cars at a time to reach safety, especially for residents near Haleakala. On the California coast, a 1.1 meter, 3.6 feet, wave hit Crescent City, causing no major harm. The tsunami advisory warned of dangerous currents rather than major inundation. Similar warnings and minor surges were noted along Oregon and Washington shores, and portions of British Columbia experienced minimal rises in sea level, under 30 centimeters. In Chile, authorities escalated their alert to the highest level and ordered evacuations for hundreds of coastal residents. Geological background and context. Tectonic setting. The earthquake occurred along the Kuril-Kamchatka subduction zone, where the Pacific Plate dives under the Okhotsk Plate. This megathrust zone has a history of powerful tremors, 2 in the pre-instrumental era, 1737 and 1841, reached magnitudes near 9.0 and produced up to 60 m tsunami waves. Comparable historic quakes include 1952 Severokurilsk earthquake, M9.0 generated 18 tsunami, killed over 2,300 people. It remains Russia's most destructive quake on record. 1963 Kuril Islands quake, M8.5, followed by aftershocks, triggered smaller trans-Pacific tsunamis. 1918 Kuril Islands quake, M8.1 caused moderate casualties and waves affecting broad areas. Global scale and rarity. This July 30, 2025 event is noted as the most powerful earthquake recorded globally since Japan's 2011 magnitude 9.0 Tohoku disaster, and the strongest in the Kamchatka region since the 1952 event. Emergency response systems and preparedness. Japan's high-tech alert infrastructure. Japan's public warning system is considered best in class. Seismometers relay data in seconds, enabling tsunami alerts within 3 minutes of detection. Alerts are broadcast in multiple languages, including English and Portuguese, targeting diverse communities. After the 2011 disaster, Japan strengthened building codes, instituted regular retrofitting programs, and offered incentives such as up to 50% insurance premium discounts for compliance with seismic standards. Regional coordination. Regional and national agencies, from Japan's Meteorological Agency to Hawaii's Emergency Management Agency, acted quickly, issuing warnings, coordinating evacuations, monitoring tides, and advising against returning to beaches prematurely. Human stories and personal accounts. Hawaii. Residents captured unprecedented sights and sounds. In Maui, a long silent tsunami siren blared for the first time in over a decade. Videos of the siren went viral and highlighted both the fear and readiness of local communities. Traffic in Honolulu clogged with evacuees moving inland, while many on island shores watched anxiously as waves brushed near shorelines. Thankfully, warnings were downgraded throughout the region by midday, with calm prevailing later. Japan. In towns like Mukawa, residents evacuated to rooftops and hilltops. In Toyokoro, around 20 early morning evacuees gathered on a municipal roof before being moved to inland shelters. In Iwaki, Fukushima, community alarm sirens mobilized residents, while nuclear plant staff moved to higher ground for precautionary reasons. One death was reported during an evacuation in Japan, the only confirmed fatality so far amidst evacuations of nearly 1.9 to 2 million people. Scientific overview, tsunami mechanics and aftershocks. Tsunami behavior. As seen in past events, tsunami impact depends heavily on coastal geometry, water depth, and wave timing. While Kamchatka may have seen up to 5 meters waves, Japan mostly recorded under 1 meter, and the U.S. coast saw between 1 to 1.8 meters at worst. Local currents may remain dangerous for hours or days after either country's initial waves. Experts caution that tsunamis typically come in multiple surges rather than a single wave. The time between quakes and wave arrivals can mean danger persists long after the first surges. Assessment of impact and lessons learned. Casualties and structural damage. Through coordinated early warnings, evacuation procedures, and resilient infrastructure, the incident resulted in remarkably limited injuries, one confirmed death in Japan, and minimal structural devastation considering the quake's magnitude. Japan's and Russia's nuclear installations remained intact and safe, and no major reactor abnormalities were reported. Crisis communication and public awareness. From tsunami sirens in Hawaii to multilingual alerts in Japan, communication systems performed effectively. People across the Pacific responded quickly, often recalling previous disasters and erring on the side of caution. Transparent statements from officials, including Hawaii's emergency management administrators, reinforced public trust and adherence to safety protocols. Importance of preparedness. This event underscores global seismic readiness, earthquake-resistant building standards, public education, international coordination, and investment in monitoring infrastructure. It demonstrates that high-risk regions can dramatically reduce loss of life with rigorous planning and execution. Technologies such as oil dampers, flexible foundations, and Aster power coating are proving to save communities during major tremors. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share the video so it can reach out to everyone. Professional media contents. Is your number news trusted source? We gather information from top TV stations, websites, and social media pages, e.g. Reuters, Sky News, BBC, and Fox. Thank you for watching once again. Prof Media Co. See you in the next video. Goodbye.